This section is about habits. And we were just talking about creating sustainable change. And I was saying how habits are really at the very core of this sustainable change. And that's why I'm so happy to introduce you to the following few videos, which are not my own videos, but the videos of a friend of mine, Beatz. He is a very renowned expert on how you can use habits to actually become happier. He has a brilliant book, and he also has a brilliant online course called Habits and Happiness. And from this online course, he was so kind to let me use a few of his lectures to give you an introduction of what habits can really do. And also, and that's what I think is the most exciting thing of all, he gave me a coupon code that you can use to actually get his course much cheaper. So please enjoy his videos. I think it's great, and you will really enjoy the course if you go for it. So there's nothing to hold us back, so let's start.
So what are habits? Habits are things we do automatically, thoughts we may have, or emotions, believe it or not. And all these things, emotion and thoughts are performed automatically by our brain. So that leaves us with energy to do things that are important in our life, such as, what are you going to have for dinner tonight? What movie are you going to watch next week? And so on. So habits are performed automatically. Before we go any deeper into habits, I definitely want to mention William James, known as the father of American psychology. William James knew 100 years ago almost what we know today, and that is that habits, are performed automatically. They are ingrained in our brain. And more importantly, he talked about neuroplasticity back, 100 years ago. Now, what is neuroplasticity and what does that have to do with habits? Neuroplasticity is the science that basically proves that our brain changes every day. In the past, they were thinking it changes until we are maybe teenagers, 16, 18, 20. But now we know that our brain changes every single day until the day we die. But what happens is that it changes depending what we do. So everything that we do every single day affects our brain. And that is extremely important research and the knowledge to have, to know that everything you do every single day changes your brain. Just to share a little bit habit story with you, a couple of years ago, I really wasn't in a good shape. I wasn't feeling so good. I had some bad stomach ache. I had some heart problem. My feet was really hurting me. I really didn't know what was going on. So recently I went to the doctor, and basically he checked everything and said, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because your health is just an outstanding. I left the doctor's office and started thinking, what is it that I'm doing differently? I wasn't taking any medication, so I really, for the problems that I had, so I really didn't understand what is it. And then it kind of clicked in me. By changing my psychology, by studying what I've been studying for years, and implementing new habits, by changing my psychology, I changed my physiology. It's really incredible. And I know this can work for most of you, and this is not about just changing your physiology. Certainly it is about doing and achieving becoming successful in anything and everything that you want to become successful. The habit loop. Let me explain what is the habit loop and why is that so important for us to understand. So, as you see on the slide, so habit loop actually starts with the trigger. So anything that you do, habit that you have established or you're going to establish, starts with the trigger. So let's pick a habit that we all have, brushing our teeth, right? It starts with the trigger. Chances are, maybe it's first thing in the morning, as soon as you get up, you're going to go brush your teeth. Maybe it's after you have a coffee. Maybe it's before you go to work, after you watch TV, after you read the paper, whatever it is. But there is a certain time, think about it, that you brush your teeth. Something triggers it. So what's the next thing? Next thing is routine. What's routine in this case? Easily explainable. In this case is brushing your teeth. That is your routine. And then you get something, what's called reward. So your brain actually gets rewarded. In this case, you brush your teeth, that's your routine, right? And then your reward is you feel good, you smell good, you're just kind of ready to go, right? You feel really good, so that's your reward. And then so on. The next routine comes in, next trigger, routine, reward, and so on. That's the habit loop. But here's the problem. Your brain will give you a reward regardless if your habit is good for you or bad for you. Now, that is the problem because, let me give you an example. Let's say you just love big juicy hamburger. You go to the diner, you see it on the menu, you see almost everyone around you have it. And as soon as you see this picture, you just gonna order the hamburger, right? So that coming into the diner triggered it. You order your hamburger, your routine is now to eat and enjoy, and your reward is immediately, you just feel good. That was a great burger, right? I just really feel good. So your brain is really focused to give you the immediate pleasure, right? It is not focused on the long-term goal. It is not focused that this is not good for you in the long run if you have way too many, right? This may affect your health. So that's why you have to learn some tricks to trick your brain to focus on a long-term goal. We're going to cover some tools shortly.